back spasms. Bottom of the second, 1-0 L.A. Charles Johnson at the plate. Charles Johnson taking Ken Merker deep to left. A 2-run homer. His 10th of the season, third in his last 5 games. He's caught fire. It's 3-0 L.A. Top 5, Cards trail 4-2, but threatening. Base juiced. There your visual proof. Gary Gaetti taking Darren Dryford the other way. Brings home Delino DeShields and Brian Jordan. We are tied at 4. That Gaetti's only hit of the game. Top of the 8th, we're still tied. Dryford done after allowing 2 base runners. Jim Bruschi on in relief. Brian Jordan, be seeing it. A 3-run homer. Dryford. Bomb it. Jordan's 9th of the year. He was 2 for 4. Cards win it by the final of 7-4, snapping their 3-game losing streak and extending LA's skid to 4. Dryford does absorb the loss despite a career-high 8 Ks.
Fortunately, McGuire was just seen as a spectator on ESPN on this night. Eric Karros rips a base hit. Bottom of the first off Mark Petkazik. Eric Young scores. We're tied at 1. Karros had an RBI ground out in the third to make it a 2-1 Dodger lead. In the bottom of the 5th, it's 4-1 Dodgers when Karros busts out the whooping stick. 3 at-bats, 3 RBIs for Karros. 5-1 Dodgers on his second home run of the year. It's 5-2, bottom of the 6th. Guess who? Mr. Run Producer on this night, Eric Karros. 5 RBIs and 5 consecutive at-bats. LA goes on to win by the final of 7-4. Karros had entered this game without an RBI in his last 45 at-bats. He had 5 on 4 hits Wednesday. Ramon Martinez went 7 strong to win for the 5th straight time and end the Dodgers.
And he rears back and lets it go and got him! A no-hitter by Hideo Nomo.
Nomo goes from the Far East to the East Coast. His life in L.A. is over. The no-hitter he threw in September of '96 against the Rockies is just a part of Dodgers history. Welcome, everyone, to Baseball Tonight. Alongside Dave Campbell, I'm Carl Ravitch. The Dodgers didn't get Randy Johnson, but they did move Hideo Nomo tonight, announcing a trade with the New York Mets. Nomo joins his best friend there, Masato Yoshii. Also going from Los Angeles to the Mets, middle reliever Brad Quantz, who currently is in the minors. The Mets send back Dave Malicki and Greg McMichael. Nomo also reunited with his catcher, Mike Piazza. You almost remember that shot of Nomo getting Piazza's autograph when he left for New York, leaving the Dodgers locker room. Also in New York, his pitching coach Dave Wallace, and many point to his departure from L.A. as one of the reasons that entire Los Angeles staff has suffered. Let's take a look at this, Dave. Now one big happy family in New York, and clearly the Mets have re-grabbed the back page of the sports section of the entire newspaper, which is always critical in New York. But as far as Nomo goes, if his arm is right, this is an enormous deal for the Mets.
Yeah, it really is. And the other thing about it, if you look at his numbers this year, again, less hits in innings pitched, more strikeouts in innings pitched. He has been by the long ball. He's given up 8 home runs and the walks are up. But the other thing, Bobby Valentine managed in Japan, so that's going to help. This is the trade that made the most sense. I mean, about a week ago, you felt, if this trade was going to come down, it was going to be to the New York Mets because the Dodgers said they wanted pitching back in return. The Mets are as deep as any team in baseball, 1 through 11.
Leiter, Reed, Nomo, Yoshii, Jones.
Not bad.
Not a bad staff at all for the Metropolitans, who are, of course, in Boston. And we'll have highlights of what the Mets are doing before they got to Boston a little later on. As we head into June, though, most, if not all, of the competitive teams have a clear #1 pitcher. Beyond that, most, if not all, have questions about the depth of their starters. The answers may be on the staff, and then again, maybe not. Tonight, 4 pitchers who could play very big roles in determining their team's success. Start with Nomo's old team, Chan Ho Park in Los Angeles. He's had some back problems this season. He's coming off an 8-inning, 2-run, no decision in which his bullpen really blew it for him. McGuire's not playing, and he enjoyed the game with his son. Sandy Koufax also in attendance. Chan Ho Park, Dave, early on.
Well, had a good breaking ball. Ronnie Gant couldn't hold back, pulled his hands forward. We'll have more than that later in the show. Delino DeShields, routine fly to center field, and then Ray Langford down swinging. Park 1-2-3 in the first. 7 innings, 2 runs.
All right. Sheffield at the plate for Juan Acevedo, and Acevedo would have to leave after the third. Stiff right elbow. He's day-to-day. Karros, then, who's coming off a huge game, delivers here. Eric Young gets a green light. He scores easily. It's 2-2. Bottom 9, Charles Johnson, your hero after Jim Eisenreich, another one of the Dodgers' recent acquisitions from the Marlins, had led off and then stole second. He comes around and scores, and the Dodgers win by a final score of 3-2.
Acevedo looked like he was going to step up. The Cardinals will start Kent Bottenfield on Friday. He will be their 12th starting pitcher this year. Injuries killing the Cardinal staff.
McGuire hopes to play this week.
2 on, bottom 2, and Hill The line drive to right. One-handed for Hill. Scoring David Segui. Mariners up 1-0 as you see the right-handed swing. Still bottom second. Runners on first and second for Dan Wilson, who uses both hands and lines it to right. Rob Ducey scoring from second. The Mariners up 2-0. Same score. Top five. Jim Eisenreich at the plate against Bill Swift. Eisenreich wants a base hit. Alex Rodriguez wants to get in the highlights. The Mariners hanging on to win 4-0 in interleague play. Bill Swift and two relievers combining on a 9-hit shutout for Swift's third straight victory. Dan Wilson, 2 out of 4 and 2 runs driven in.
Dave Malicki's first start, and look out below. Well, look out above. Junior's got 23, 55th RBI of the year. The M's down 1. In the 5th, tied at 6, and the Mariners got him loaded, Dave.
Yeah, Segui and Edgar Martinez aboard. Bases loaded. Dan Wilson's fly ball to right. Gary Sheffield's got a good arm. Not as great as Mondesi's, but the indecision is going to kill the Mariners here. Here comes Segui. All of a sudden he stops, but look at Edgar Martinez. He thought he was going to go, so Segui's got to get in the rundown. Eventually tagged out. 9-2-5-3 double play. Piniella has just about seen it all this year. Frustration mounting.
If he hadn't seen enough Mondesi, then threw out Edgar Martinez at home as well. Paul Konerko. Eric Karros, Eric Young say, please do it for the young guy. And it leaves the building. Konerko's first major league home run. A total meltdown in this game for Joey Cora. You see the Mariners have 4 errors. He had 3. He said, I screwed up big time. That's my loss there. I feel bad because my team had a chance to win. And I
third inning, 2 on, and he's leaving. That's more beer for us. Griffey struck out 3 times. Dodgers up 2-0. And then this ball to Griffey off Gary Sheffield's bat. My bad.
It's off his glove.
Griffey, the rare error. 3 errors this season. Doesn't happen often. Slows that one there, but he still swings the bat well. Bottom of the 9th. Mariners down 7-1. And Ken Griffey does not need creatine. 24th of the year. Giving McGuire a good chase. 7-3 game. Mariners trying to rally back. 5 batters later. 7-4. Bases are loaded. Antonio Osuna, your third Dodger pitcher of the 9th. He's facing the pinch hitter David Segui. They pause for reflection, and he strikes out. Osuna gets his second save in as many days. Show them what they've won. Baseball game. Dodgers have won 4 out of 5. The Mariners are in an entirely different space. They've dumped 6 of 7. A season worst 8 games under 500. Now, for what it's worth, Seattle has 100 home runs in the season. That leads the majors. It's
Mo Martinez. The bases are juiced with 1 out.
1-2.
Little tapper back, and he'll throw it to the sure-handed Charles Johnson. Little help back there. Coming into the season, Johnson hadn't made an error since June 23rd of '96. He's made 4 this year. 2 runs scored there. A's up 2-0. That was plenty for Blake Stein. Johnson could not atone. He struck out twice. Eric Karros struck out twice. And then Bobby Bowe would not win Blake Stein's money. He struck out twice. Stein went 8 1/3. He struck out 10, giving up 3 runs. Top of the 7th, A's up 4-1. Giambi taking one deep and out of the yard. 3-run blast. Giambi's 7th job of the year. Athletics up 7-1. They would go on to win it by a count of 7-3. Stein, you might recall, was the A's starter in that 16-10 loss to Texas last week when he gave up 9 runs in 4 1/3. Taking on the Dodgers. Dodgers celebrating their 40th anniversary in L.A. Bottom 1. Remember on Monday night, Charles Johnson's error opened the way for a big inning for the A's. Mike McFarland returns to favor. Eric Young scoring on the pass ball, and then McFarland's got his man. His man's headed to center field. He wasn't. Vizcaíno scores, and Mondesi's not going to stop. Here comes Raul, and nothing will be eating Raul. He gets in there to score. Dodgers up 3-0, thanks to the miscues by McFarland behind the plate. Chan-Ho Park sent home Monday with the flu. Looks very healthy there, getting McFarland, who had his troubles at the plate, and then Martin Bellhorn, likewise, I'm sure. Park pitched 8 innings, allowed 1 run, struck out 6. Dodgers win it by a count of 5-1. LA has now won 5 out of 7, and the A's have had all kinds of trouble in the field. They've made 54 errors in 62 games now. A bright spot, Scott Spezio stretches his hitting streak to 18. Good pitching matchup between these two on Wednesday.
Go, Ricky Henderson. Valdez gets Henderson looking. Bottom 3 now, no score, 1 on, 2 outs for Mondesi. Right up the middle. That brings in Juan Castro to make it 1-0 Dodgers. Top of the 6th, same score. Valdez still in control. No hits allowed. Valdez striking out Kenny Rogers. A no-hitter through 6 for Ishmael. Same score, 2 outs in the 7th. Matt Stairs ends it, breaking up the no-no after 6 2/3. Roger Cedeno brought in the 8th for defensive purposes. That means he usually is supposed to catch the ball. Scott Spiezio tests him. Cedeno didn't catch the ball. So much for getting in there on defensive purposes. Tying run on second now. 2 batters later. Valdez facing Matt Stairs, the guy who broke up the no-hitter. Stairs can't do anything with that, and that ends the game. A little revenge for Ishmael Valdez. He pitches his first complete game since September of 1995. He walks just 1. He strikes out a season-high 9. Kenny Rogers.
Saturday's game with the Rockies had won 7 of their last 9 and were looking to go a season-high 3 games above the 500 mark. The Dodgers started former reliever Darren Dreifert, who had won 4 of his last 5 starts. Chavez Ravines where we go, and
Abbott is 0 for 2
and get pumped up. Top of the 5th, Kurt Abbott at the plate. Runners at first and second. Rockies up 3-0. The bunt, and Darren Dreifert fields, throws to Jose Vizcaino, to Eric Young, and then over to third to get Jamie Wright. And the Dodgers turning the 1-6-4-5 triple play. Another look, and Karros lets the bunt fall. Dreifert to Vizcaino. It's one. Across to Eric Young, and then across the diamond to Bobby Bonilla, putting the tag on right. Second triple play ever for Los Angeles, and one young fan not real happy. Top of the 6th, 3-0 Rocks and Larry Walker. 3 for 3 on the day. The solo shot, his 8th of the year. The Rockies 4-2 winners. The triple play, the first ever at Dodger Stadium, and the first ever in Rockies history. Walker's home run, by the way, his first in 13 games. The victory ending a 6-game road slide.
Against Scott Radinsky. Will fly to left. Roger Cedeno coming or not. Radinsky not thrilled by the play of Cedeno. Next batter, Jeff Reed at the plate. Throws down the bunt. Radinsky not thrilled at the play of Radinsky. Mad at himself. Radinsky allows the go-ahead run to get to third. Next batter's Todd Helton. Those mistakes, you will pay for your transgression. Both runners come to score. Rocks go up 3-1, and the Rocks win it by a count of 3-2, as you see now. Raul Mondesi went 0 for 4 in his return to the lineup. He missed Saturday's game after being arrested under investigation of drunk driving. The Dodgers lost pitcher Ramon Martinez in this game after 4.
Bochy threw his latest trump card. Gwynn was back and right, hitting .337 for his career against L.A. in bottom of the 3rd. I don't think he lost his stroke. Trailing 2-0, but not anymore. Kevin Brown and Kilvio Veras would score. Gwynn 2 for 3. He's now hitting .350, and we're all locked up at 2. Well, the last time Kevin Brown and Charles Johnson met, they were teammates in their championship run of '97. And just 5 hours after Kevin Brown had himself a root canal, he proceeded to give his ex-mate one. Johnson struck out a couple of times, went 0 for 3 against his former battery mate. Speaking of teammates, former Dodger Carlos Hernandez with the bases juiced. They are unjuiced now. A double down the line. Ruben Rivera, Greg Vaughn, and Andy Sheets all homeward bound. Padres go on to win it 10-6. That's 8 in a row for the Pods, matching their season high. Trevor Hoffman converted now 21 straight saves. The Padres 20 games over 500 for the first time since the last day of the '96.
Karros with 2 aboard. 1 out count. He's facing Jamie Wright. Takes the hanging curve that he got in front of it, though. Might have pulled it too far at Coors. Where'd it go? Karros trying to find it in the rarefied air. The ump comes out for a quick look, too. It's off the foul pole. You're gone. His 21st career homer, a 3-run shot. Jamie Wright lightning quick to first.
He's got a great pickoff move, but Helton with the snap tag. That's why they're getting. Now look at Thomas Howard taking the, just caught him leaning, got him big time.
Bottom of the 7th, Rockies hadn't done anything all day, but Nefi Perez had a couple of hits, and now he takes this pitch from Dave Malicki with a tying run at the plate, but he flies out to the warning track to Gary Sheffield to get out of the 7th. In the 9th, Malicki, the guy that was given away by the Mets at throwing in the trade, is pitched his just the second shutout of his major league career on a 7-hitter. He goes the distance right. Didn't pitch that awfully, but the big 3-run homer in the first inning was too much, and the Rockies get shut out at home for the first time.
Facing Gary Sheffield. Look low and outside. Eric Gregg calls it a strike. Next pitch, the Sheffield shift was on. Easy play right up the middle. So Sheffield grounds out. As he's walking back to the dugout, he mutters something to Gregg, and see ya. He fought authority. Authority always wins. Top 10, game tied at 3-all. Eric Karros at the plate, And Karros drives it to right center. Curtis Goodwin thinks he's got a bead on it. He's got no bead. Number 6 for Karros, 4-3 Dodgers. Bottom 10, Antonio Osuna against Vinny Castilla. Forget about it. Osuna strikes out his Mexican compatriot and then sort of shows him the way to the door. He caves the side in the 10th as the Dodgers win 4-3. Karros is enjoying this series. He drove in all 5 runs in Thursday's win over Colorado. The Dodgers stuck Ramon Martinez on the 15-day DL with shoulder problems. The Rocks the Dodgers were putting Ramon Martinez on the shelf as well. And that shelf is getting crowded. Saturday, the Dodgers put Bobby Bonilla on the DL with an intestinal infection, which is just something we're not going to delve into. Dodgers and Rockies at Coors. Here we go. Bottom first, Dennis Reyes to Vinny Castilla. The drive to center field. Raul Mondesi going back towards that wall, running out of room, and he makes the catch. We have instant replay. Mondesi going up, maybe stealing a home run from Castilla. Top 4 one-zip Dodgers. Juan Castro, the soft fly ball to center. Ellis Burks, the perfectly executed slide catch. Check out the cone on that one. Of course, he's legally obligated to do this when he bats in the bottom of the inning. Burks' 13th home run of the year. And the Rockies go on to win this one. Yes, they win at home, 7-6 the final. Mike DeJean pressed into duty for his first start ever when John Thompson got a blister during warm-ups. Burks finished with 4 ribbies. Eric Karros has murdered Rockies pitching in this series.
Karros is hot. All this land is mine for as far as the ball shall travel. And it travels off the top and gone. 3-run homer, 1-2 on the day. Dodgers up 3-0. Now in the second, tied at 3, Dante Bichette. Little bloop off of Chan Ho Park. Gary Sheffield's after it. Not bad. Kurt Manwaring, Nefi Perez, they're both coming to score. Rocks go by count of 5-3, 8-4 Rocks. They're in the 6th. Bichette off Grave McMichael. 446 feet. It's a 3-run job. His 9th. 11-4 Colorado's shown what they've won. National League Baseball game 11-6. Twice the Rockies sent 10 batters to the plate in an inning. They had enough offense to surmount the play of Eric Karros, who homered twice. He went 7-17 with 4 homers and 13 RBI in the series. The Braves and the Expos, bit of a scare here to Dusty. They were hit today with a whole new manner of separation. The new Fox ownership group purged the baseball team of longtime veterans Bill Russell and Fred Clare. Russell had been with the franchise in one way or another for 32 years. On an interim basis, he's been replaced as field manager by Glenn Hoffman, called up from AAA Albuquerque. And 30-year Dodger employee Fred Clare has been replaced as general manager on a temporary basis by the former manager and current VP Tommy Lasorda. The major personnel decisions come in the midst of a sub-500 season that's already seen the trades of Mike Piazza and Hideo Nomo.
I've been asked probably 100 times this morning the hypothetical question, Peter, if your family still owned the ball club, would you have done the same thing? And the honest answer is yes. I've been disappointed in the team's performance. I thought we were flat, have been flat for some time. I think it is time for a change.
I spent many hours speaking with all of the baseball people in our organization, with Tommy, with Charlie Blaney, and others, Ralph Avila, about who would be the best candidate within our organization to fill the managerial role. And without question and without dissent, Glenn Hoffman's name continually came up.
We got a manager that I believe is going to really be able to handle them. He's going to really be able to make them believe. He's a motivator. He's a self-confident man. He's a man that will give us everything that he has within us.
I didn't think this day would ever come this quick. Tommy told me that one day I'd be a major league manager, and I said, yeah, in time I will. Because deep down in my heart, I knew that's what I wanted to do. And I wanted to start at the bottom and work my way back up again like I did as a ball player, so I knew every emotion that they were going through again.
Is there a big difference between Hoff and Bill Russell?
Oh, I think so. They're two different type personalities. Hoff likes to talk a lot. You know, if there's a bad call on the field or something, he'll get in somebody's face, get thrown out of a game or something. Billy's much more laid back. I mean, Billy's great to play for. No question about that, because he just lets you play. Anybody who has a problem playing for Bill Russell has got a problem, because he never says 2 words to you. Maybe that's what this team needs. Maybe this team needs someone to get in their face and get something started.
Russell's run turns out to be a blink of an eye as far as Dodger managers go. His overall winning percentage was actually a shade better than Tommy Lasorda's, but Lasorda was given plenty of time and came up with 4 pennants, one less than Walter Alston, who also managed 4 years in Brooklyn.
ESPN Magazine baseball analyst Tim Kurkjian now joins us to talk about the Dodgers' turmoil. Tim, Bob Graziano made the announcements today. He's called the president of the Dodgers, but he's a CPA. Who's running the Dodgers now?
Well, he's running it in conjunction with the Fox people. This is clear at this point. I mean, they were the ones who made the Piazza trade. They are the ones who are pulling all the strings right now, and there's no question that they'll be in charge of this team forever. Now, Tommy Lasorda will have some power, but he will not have absolute power like some people think when he comes in there, because ultimately the final decision rests with Graziano and all the Fox people.
But you think Tommy Lasorda is more than just a figurehead as GM?
Oh, no question about it. Tommy still has a little bit of power there, and Tommy is still Tommy. He's been there a million years, and what he says will have some bearing because he is a great judge of talent, and that's very important for this team because clearly over the last 10 years they've made some major mistakes with talent, and at least Tommy can do that, and if they can find somebody to help him with the paperwork and some of the detail work that a GM has to do, he might do a decent job there.
All right, Tommy Lasorda, the godfather of Mike Piazza. Everybody knows that. Mike Piazza wouldn't become a Dodger for less than $100 million before. Would he consider coming back to the Dodgers now with Tommy Lasorda in charge?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt. Now, I saw Piazza 2 days ago in New York, and he told me how happy he was with the Mets, and they really want him back. That is very clear. But with Lasorda in charge now, and he being so close to Piazza and vice versa, I don't think there's any doubt that Piazza's chances of going back to the Dodgers are significantly better today than they were 2 days ago.
What's next on the field for the Dodgers? Do they now get back into the Randy Johnson hunt? Do they scramble around and really open a revolving door player-wise?
Well, absolutely, because with Ramon Martinez hurt as badly as he's hurt, and he's going to be out for the season, if not into next season, they need to go get somebody. I don't think they have any chance to win anything this year, so what they may do is try to get through this year without any major problems and then rebuild this team in Lasorda's way, as many ways as he can, and get them ready for next year, because I don't see any way they can salvage this season.
If that's all that happens, this team treads water the rest of the season. Can Glenn Hoffman keep his job as manager, or does a name like Jimmy Leland pop up again?
Well, I think Glenn Hoffman needs to do a lot more than tread water. He's a good guy, he's a solid guy, but he's really got to turn this team around, and I don't think he's capable of doing that. There's no way Jim Leland is going to the Dodgers. We've heard rumors about him and Dombrowski, the general manager, leaving Florida for L.A., but Jimmy Leland is not an L.A. kind of guy. He will manage someplace next year. It won't be in Florida, and it won't be in L.A., but he'll manage someplace.
All right, thanks for your analysis. Tim Kurkjian of ESPN Magazine.
We'll have more on the whole Dodgers situation a bit later in the show. Now this, even aside from the obvious referee, like giving his life to it, he probably neglected to copyright it. He came from an era where folks didn't do that too much. So now he's out the door along with manager Bill Russell, who actually bled blue longer than Claire. And we're bleeding with nostalgia for this edition of Breakdown.
It is without a doubt the greatest organization in baseball.
They were the franchise that set the standard for economic success, image, and winning. It was the Dodger way to give their manager one-year contracts, a tradition that Walter Alston carried out every year for 23 years, through 4 World Series titles. Tommy Lasorda followed Alston and guided Los Angeles to 2 more World Series victories in the next 20 years. And in 1996, he passed the mantle of Dodgers manager to Bill Russell.
You will win a lot of championships here before you're through. Billy, I love you like my own son.
Russell would not win any championships in his short time as field manager.
Without further ado, I present to you the new manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Mr. Glenn Hoffman.
Thank you, Tom. The 4th manager in Los Angeles Dodgers history was introduced by Tommy Lasorda, who was taken over as the team's general manager. It's a position he coveted for years.
Tommy has always wanted this job, and it's interesting that he finally gets it, the job he's always wanted, on the day that the man he considered almost to be his father, Campanis, died. It is really, really strange.
What was once a rare occurrence, a press conference, has happened with great frequency this year in Los Angeles.
They've made 3 moves that are so egocentric. You talk about trading away, firing your most popular player, Piazza, your most popular pitcher, Nomo, and then now your manager. And this is things that Never happened here before. It's blockbuster here.
Gone now is the family-owned and run mentality that the Dodgers enjoyed for years.
No team was more of a mom-and-pop kind of organization more than the Dodgers, and now they have gone as much corporate as any team in baseball. And the Dodgers have gone under a complete overhaul from the O'Malleys to the Fox people.
The Dodgers have always been a homegrown organization. The fans here could count on the Lopes, the Say, the Garvey. That infield, they always had Yeager. And now it's just transient.
Corporate America has taken over baseball today. It's not necessarily a bad thing. All the money you can get to go into baseball is really good, and just not enough families have enough money these days to make a team work and work for the long term.
So as the new Dodger era takes hold, no one and nothing appear to be expendable.
They're thinking about changing their uniforms for next year, which is remarkable to me.
Dodgers are on the good side of 500 in the 1990s, but it still represents the team's worst decade in Los Angeles. The win percentage is down and the World Series appearances are out. And in fact, LA's 0 for 6.
Move interleaguing it in Anaheim. Top of the 6th, Dodgers up 2-0. Omar Oliveras facing Charles Johnson, and Johnson the liner to left center. That would score Raul Mondesi. Dodgers had a 4-0 lead at one point. As the ball got away, Paul Cornico scores. That put him up 4-0. Bottom of the 8th, Angels up 4, trailing 4-3. Scott Radinsky on and Jim Edmonds doubles to right, scoring Dave Hollins. And we are all tied at 4. Here we go. Still bottom of the 8th inning. Edmonds on second base for Cecil Fielder. And Fielder goes the other way to right. Here's a throw by Gary Sheffield, showing off the arm. Not in time. Edmonds scores, and the Angels up 5-4. Top 9, Troy Percival is facing the pinch hitter Matt Luke. Takes the low fastball and takes it far, 420 feet. His 4th bomb to tie it at 5. You might recall, as we flash back last year, the Angels and the Dodgers, Percival gave up a home run to Todd Zeile to break up a 3-3 tie. The Dodgers won that one 4-3. But Monday night, bottom 9, we're still tied at 5. Greg McMichael walks Justin Bauman. 2 batters later, McMichael intentionally walks Darren Erstad. Mark Guthrie now pitching. He walks Jim Edmonds. Now the base is loaded. Tim Salmon at the plate. And Jim Brush walks Salmon, bringing in the winning run. And the Angels take a 6-5 win on the bases loaded walk. So I guess you could say, if you're really competitive, we won. The Angels come back and win for the 18th time in their last 21 games. They're now 6-1 in interleague play. Troy Percival blew his 3rd save of the year, but still managed to pick up his 1st win of the season. Dodgers lost 3 straight and 7 of their last 9, but this is the 1st under their new skipper.
Shame came up on the short end right there, but tell you what, you go to the 9th inning like that, we didn't make many mistakes except for there in the pitching, but hey, I'm going to run them out there again and see which ones are going to step forward.
Since the O'Malleys bought the team back
bullpen, you had to think that somewhere Bill Russell was nodding in that told-you-so fashion or just flat-out snickering. Glenn Hoffman had his managerial debut ruined Monday by the same shoddy relief pitching that in part cost Russell his job. Scott Radinsky blew his 6th save in 17 chances, and then 3 other Dodger relievers walked 4 batters in the 9th to lose to the Anaheim Angels of all teams. Looking for win number 1 again Tuesday at the Ed, and Hoffman's going to have to work on that defense as well. Bottom of the 3rd, 1-0 LA. Darren Erstad to Paul Konerko. Yikes! And away. Ball rolls into the dugout. Erstad awarded 2nd. Bottom of the 4th now. Jim Edmonds grounds to short. Juan Castro doesn't get it in time. Same inning. Cecil Fielder at the plate. Wilton Guerrero can't handle it. Everybody's safe. But still, LA had a 3-2 lead in the bottom of the 7th. Bases loaded for Fielder, and the bullpen's in the game. Fielder chops one to Konerko off his glove. 2-run score, 4-3 Angels. The Dodgers' pen has now allowed 7 earned runs in its last 2 1/3 innings. Bottom of the 8th, 5-4 Angels. Mark Guthrie now on, facing Erstad. Erstad, he's just a stud. Base hit. 1 run comes in. That was Erstad's 57th ribby in the year. The Angels win 6-4. The Dodger pen proved leaky again, blowing a win for Dave Malicki. 3 relievers combined to give up 4 runs on 5 hits and 2 walks. The Angels have won 4 straight, 20 of 23, and at 47 and 29, sport the best 74-game record in franchise history. This series moves to
up in the AL West. Their 3.5-game lead is their biggest in 3 years. Darren Erstad is on pace for a club record 221 hits. They're 7-1 in interleague play this year. They're 20-3 in their last 23 games. They're a real cool team. Am I gushing? It's a Disney thing. You wouldn't understand. Halos, Dodgers. Glenn Hoffman making his home debut in L.A. First time ever the Dodgers have worn anything other than white at home. New Dodger GM Tommy Lasorda in the booth. Say hi, Tommy, and give us a home run call.
Not to scour around because there's some names that might be available out there. This
ball's hit pretty good. Get going, it's
can't get it. Home run.
We'll work on Tommy's home run calls. Mondesi gets his 17th jack of the year. Dodgers up 5-2. 5-4 Dodgers. Scott Radinsky in for Darren Dreifort with runner on second. Radinsky gets his 7th blown save of the year. Matt Wabeck single to left center to plate Damon Mayshore. 5-5 game. In between innings, Dreifort comes over to comfort Radinsky. Radinsky says, my bad. Bottom 11, Matt Luke on third. Trinidad Hubbard just activated from the DL on Tuesday. Hubbard wins the game with the line drive single to left. Luke, the former Yankee farmhand, comes in to score. Dodgers win at 6-5 in 11 innings. Hoffman and the new regime, they get the first win in the new regime history for the Dodgers. Antonio Osuna pitched 2 perfect innings of relief to
more were handed out after Wednesday night's win over the Angels. Coaches Reggie Smith, Glenn Gregson, and Mark Cressy all fired by new manager Glenn Hoffman. All 3 were offered minor league jobs. Smith turned his down. Mickey Hatcher takes over as hitting coach, Charlie Huff as pitching coach, and John Shelby is LA's new bullpen coach. Team president and CEO Bob Graziano says no one's job in the organization is safe. The next fired should be whoever had the idea to wear those blue BP shirts in games. Angels taking on the Dodgers. Top 6 tied at 1. Phil Nevin 1 for 18 in his career with the bases juiced, and now he's 2 for 19. Paul Konerko can't get it. Erstad and Edmonds score. Anaheim up 3-1. In the bottom of the ninth, same score. Troy Percival on to finish things up. Young Adrian Beltre made his major league debut on Wednesday, and that'll happen. You'll just pop up until, oh, we got a racing deal. Garrett Anderson and Edmonds collide. Ball drops in. Beltre at second. Mondesi came in, made it 3-2. Anderson got the error. Then Percival walks Jim Eisenreich. We got men on first and second. Eric Young stands in. Walk this way. The bases are now loaded. The Dodgers trying to come from the dead against Troy Percival, who was looking for his 24th save. But with Wilton Guerrero up, Percival brings the gas. The Angels take 3 of 4 from their crosstown rivals. 3-2 the final in this one. Steve Sparks, the knuckleballer, wins his 3rd straight start. He was 0-8 in the minors before being called up. Walked 3, struck out 4.
Interim manager Glenn Hoffman, charged with saving the Dodgers season, is off to a lurching start. He inherited a team without much cohesion or camaraderie. He had to reshuffle his coaching staff, and his team was 1-3 in his brief reign. Trying to snap out of it against the Pirates at Chavez Ravine. Let's go there, shall we? There's a shot of Glenn Hoffman. Top 2, 1-zip Pirates. Bases bloated with buckos. Chan-Ho Park gets Jason Kendall to fly to right, and he is out of the jam.
And that'll be that.
Bottom 2, still 1-zip Pirates. Paul Konerko facing Esteban Loaiza, and got him. Bye-bye. Konerko's 4th home run of the year. The Dodgers take the 2-1 lead. Top 5, Dodgers up 3-2. Park, Jose Guillen. The throw down, Jason Kendall. That's a double play the hard way. Watch the replay. Kendall diving into second. You're out. Tommy Lasorda and team president Bob Graziano chowing down up there. The Dodgers win it 5-2. Park was coming off the worst outing of his career, but he goes 6 2/3, giving up only 2 runs. Just the 4th win in the last 13.
Ishmael.
Never more than 6 games out of first.
Valdez getting Turner Ward on the check swing. Ward 0 for 3. Top of the second, Jose Guillen grounding to third for the easy 5-3 putout. Guillen going 0 for 3. Top of the 4th, Valdez with total command of the strike zone. Tony Womack hot looking on the fastball. More, or should we say less, from Womack to come. Bottom of the 6th, the Dodgers providing some run support. Raul Mondesi delivers. Eric Young, Gary Sheffield both scored. Dodgers up 2-zip. Top of the 7th, Womack back up at the plate, tries to bunt here, but Valdez pounces off the mound. And the perfect game intact through 7. Top of the 8th, none out. Valdez still perfect, but Kevin Young breaks up the perfect game and the no-hitter. Valdez not happy about losing his shot at history. Top of the 9th, still in control. Doug Strange on the curveball. Valdez with one of his 8 Ks right there. 2 outs, Womack up again. He went 0 for 4 on the evening, and Ishmael Valdez finishes with a 1-hitter, allowing just 2 balls out of the infield in the Dodgers' 2-zip victory. 18 days after holding Oakland to 2 hits, Valdez gets his first career 1-hitter. The 24-year-old right-hander who had his battles with former skipper Bill Russell is 2-0 in his last 4 starts, giving up only 4 earned runs in 30 1/3 innings. Now, some strange but true similarities in these 2 no-hit bids. Both took place in Southern California. Both were broken up on the first pitch of the 8th inning after both pitchers batted in the previous half inning, so perhaps they were somewhat winded.
He's just left the building. 2-run homer, 13th on the year. Dodgers stake to a 2-0 lead. Bottom of the 6th. Paul Konerko gets caught in a rundown. Kevin Young fires home, and Jason Kendall tags on Gary Sheffield. Kendall then has words with Sheffield, and then look out. A brawl breaks out. Sheffield and Kendall going at it. Both benches will empty. Sheffield would leave with a bloody face. Both players would leave. They were ejected. In the 8th, tied at 4. A runner third, 2 outs. Jose Guillen. Adrian Beltre throws the ball into the dirt. Eric Karros can't handle. Manny Martinez scores. Pirates pick up the victory by the final of 6-4. Williams gets the win. Rudinsky in relief, saddled with the loss. Loisel, his 13th save as he works 2 perfect innings game with Colorado, complaining of stiffness in his right shoulder. His season officially came to an end earlier today when he underwent arthroscopic surgery on his torn rotator cuff. Martinez is slated to start rehabbing next Wednesday, but won't be tossing a baseball for at least 4 months and is not expected to be fully recovered for up to a year. His teammates, meanwhile, in Arlington, Darren Dreifert getting the start against that tough Texas lineup led by Juan Gonzalez. 3 straight pitches, 1 for 4 for Gonzalez. Dreifert, Will Clark down. Perfect through 5 1/3. LA up 1-0 in the 5th. Wilton Guerrero.
Eric Young at second base.
Vaughn Rodriguez chasing it.
Right in front of the Dodger dugout, leaning in over the
Check it again. Rodriguez showing why he's a 7-time All-Star. Not just a great hitter. Finds the rail, finds the ball. Getting some help from Fernando Tatis, his third baseman. 2-0 LA. Man aboard in the 6th. Adrian Beltre off Rick Helling. Helling looking to become the Majors' first 12-game winner. Looking to see what went wrong with this pitch. Dreifert gets the win, looking very sharp, allowing 3 hits through 8. Raul Mondesi 2 for 3, a double and a triple. And Helling fails for his bid to become the first 12-game winner.
3 Dodgers. Goodwin smacks one to second. Wilton Guerrero flags it down, but Goodwin hasn't stolen 25 bases for nothing. Fastest man in baseball. Tied at 4, 1st and 3rd for Mark McLemore. Greg McMichael tries the old fake to 3rd, throw to 1st. It worked, but Goodwin with that speed scores from 3rd, 5-4 Rangers. Top 9, same score. Jim Eisenreich slaps it to 2nd. Mark McLemore, see what happened. His 8th error of the year, it would be costly. Score now tied at 5. Eric Karros, I won't pull it, I'll go the other way. Eisenreich scores, as does Sheffield. 3 unearned runs in the 9th inning for the Dodgers. They win it 7-5. Texas loses for the first time in 43 games when leading after 8 innings. This was Wetland's 3rd blown save in 25 chances as the Rangers dropped their 4th straight, said Wetland.
Says, I got something to say about that. 3-run shot to left, 11th of the year, 3-0 Dodgers. Remember that miserable way he started the season? Bottom 2, they're loaded. Chan-Ho Park unloads, uncorks, his foot slipped, and Always trying to pick up the 10-pin. Will Clark is awarded home. 3-1, the Rangers are down. Eric Cooper says, no, there's no doubt about it. Glenn, that was a balk. Look at the man in the stands. Tommy?
Let's see the wink.
Piece of cake. Uh-oh, Chef, Rip City. Fernando Tatis smothering, and then Mr. Park in the park takes over.
He had a nice night. He's really starting to throw the ball good right here. Just a nice little comeback, good positioning. Got the ball stuck in the web, pulled it out. Got Tatis.
Nasty.
And then drop. Like you said, nasty.
8 1/3, 7 hits, 5 Ks, only 1 walk in Chan-Ho Park, his longest outing of the year. And look at the Dodgers now. They sweep the Rangers. The Hoffman experiment is working quite well. Oliver loses again. He didn't pitch too badly, though. 5 innings, 9 hits, and 4 earned runs. And when you have that Texas offense, you figure that generally may be enough.
Young, a World Series MVP, and erased fellow Dodger legend Don Drysdale from the record book by twirling 59 consecutive scoreless innings. Even though Orel Hershiser's been gone from L.A. for 4 seasons, the idea of Hershiser pitching against the Dodgers is as foreign as the Dodgers trading their franchise player or firing their manager during the season. Oh. Hershiser going for the Giants. L.A. trying to win 4 in a row for the first time this season. Bottom 1-0 Giants. Bases juiced for Rich Aurelia. Aurelia smokes one to Gary Sheffield. Sheffield comes in firing. Bill Miller tagging Sheffield, and smoked meat getting it done. Charles Johnson applying the tag. And how many times have you seen a guy make a good play in the outfield and we edit the next highlight to show him hitting a home run? Sheffield, his 14th of the year, ties the game at 1 against Hershiser. Bottom 5-2-1 Dodgers. 2 men on for J.T. Snow. Had a tough personal year, but he's coming back large. Taking Ismael Valdez out. A 3-run job. Snow's 10th of the year, and the Giants have a 4-2 lead. Bottom 7, Charlie Hayes against Mark Guthrie. Hayes right on the sweet spot. A 2-run shot. The Giant fans, much rejoicing. Hayes 5th this year. The Giants double up the Dodgers 6-3 as Hershiser survives, giving up a pair of homers to win his first game against his former team. He went 7, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs. It's his first win against anybody since June 5th. J.T. Snow has 13 RBI.
Escorted Paul Konerko off the field. More on that in a second. Bottom 2, 3-2 Dodgers. Dave Malicki to Mark Gardner, who dribbles the pitch down the first base line. He's apparently safe at first, but trying to get back to Frau. He turned the wrong way, and they got him. And Gardner says, rats. Top 9, L.A. up 7-5. Raul Mondesi needing a home run for the cycle. No, he didn't get enough altitude on it, but hard hit. Bounces off Barry Bonds, usually an excellent defensive left fielder. Matt Luke comes all the way around to score. Makes it 8-5. Bonds gets the error, and he was nonplussed. Bottom 9, Dodgers up 9-5, bases bloated, 1 out. Charlie Hayes against Antonio Osuna. He didn't stand a chance. The second out of the inning right there. Next batter, J.T. Snow, 4 for 7 with the bases loaded this season. But this is lazy. The lazy fly ball. The Dodgers win 9-5. They have won 7 of their last 10. Mondesi hitting .480 with 8 ribbies in his last 6 games. He admitted later that he was going for the downs to try and get the cycle in his last 2 at-bats. Malicki now 3-0 since being traded from the Mets, and the Dodgers carousel continued Saturday. The Dodgers pick up all-star closer Jeff Shaw from the Reds. Shaw having another excellent year out of the pen with 23 saves and a 1.81 ERA. Scott Radinsky had just 12 saves as the Dodgers closer. In return for Shaw, the Reds pick up Konerko, the minor league player of the year last season. In addition to pitcher Dennis Reyes, Konerko batting just .215 this season in the bigs. So as of now, the Reds have no representative in the All-Star game. Shaw makes the Dodgers bullpen instantly respectable. Radinsky had blown 5 of his last 7 save ops. Osuna has pitched well.
And the Giants with 2 on, no outs in the 5th, no score. Brent Maine, who went 3 for 3, the grounder. Bad hop past Eric Karros. J.T. Snow scores. Giants up 1-0.
Well, Giants leading 2-0 in the 6th. Dodgers 2 on, 1 out. Sean Estes has 0-2 on Bobby Bonilla, and he thought that was strike 3. Jerry Davis, a home plate umpire, ripped his mask off, didn't like it. He eventually walked Bonilla, but then got Charles Johnson to ground to Charlie Hayes. Nice play at both ends. Huge double play. Estes emotional, has a word for Jerry Davis, which I don't think Davis appreciates, and the Gents win 3-0.
Estes improves to 7-7. Rob Nen picks up his 25th save, tying with 3 others for the Major League lead. Dodgers head into the All-Star break a game under 500 and 13.5 games behind the first place Padres. Barry Bonds doubled and tripled in 3 at-bats.
Instead, he slowly recovered from knee surgery. Missed 21 games in May, and by the end of June was hitting .240. But all Padres in Colorado this past week pointed to Caminiti's health as the key to winning the West. The final 9 games before the break, he hit .531. So here's a big one on the West. Pods, Dodgers, Mondesi's on first. Sheffield against Langston. Ding dong, that pitch is dead. His 15th of the year. Finley gave chase and ran out of room. That made it 3-0 Dodgers. Chan Ho Park. And the 3-2 pitch. Caminiti, no. He looked fooled. Vaughn breaks down. Ed Giovanola, frozen glass. Park 6 innings, no earned runs. In the 4th, Sheffield's at 3rd. When he is at the plate, it's 6-zip. He was all over it. Just brings Sheffield in. It gave him a touchdown lead. Your next batter is Charles Johnson.
And the 3-2 on the win is
Rip City, and they were all over whoever came into the game for the Padres.
Well, the Dodgers look like a renewed team. A lot of times when you had a 3-day break, they had a lot of turnover. It gave you time during the workout to get to know each other.
Arkeson Frocko to right. Sheffield going back. Nearly fought. Yay! He somehow hung on to it. And the Dodgers win it by a final score of 12-3. The offense comes up with 14 hits. Sanders got rocked around. So did the starter Mark Langston, who lasted only 3 1/3. He gave up 6 earned runs. He walked 3. Tony Gwynn said, "We got here on pitching and defense, and today we didn't have any." Gwynn and Caminetti both go hitless. Eric Young stole his 30.
Thanks in large part to his 30 home runs and 74 ribbies, the Padres sat in first place at the All-Star break for just the 3rd time in franchise history. The other 2 times that's happened, 1984 and 1996, when the Pods made their only trips to the playoffs. Friday night, Hootie and the Padres hoping to make the Dodgers cry.
It's Gwynn.
Big night defensively for Eric Young in the Dodgers infield. Top of the 3rd, 1-0 Dodgers. Tony Gwynn rockets one that Darren Dreifert deflects. Young makes the great barehanded turn for the double play, end of the inning. Gwynn comes up again in the 5th. Another bullet. Young makes the backhand diving stab. Gwynn robbed twice, 0 for 5 on the evening. Shortstop Juan Castro tries to outdo Young. Wally Joyner grounds one through the box. Castro makes the miraculous behind the back flip with his glove to get the force. Top of the 7th, still 2-1 Pods. Glenn Hoffman sees the Padres load the bases for Greg Vaughn. Bobby Bo's throw offline, but Young makes the good stretch to save 2 runs. Some good defense in this one. Bottom of the 8th, Young comes up with runners at the corners. Young grounds one to 3rd. Caminetti comes home. So much for that good defense. Carlos Hernandez, the catcher, not only does he not get the out, but he gets bowled over for his efforts. Wilton Guerrero scores. So does Adrian Beltre all the way from first. The Dodgers with a 3-2 lead as we take a look at the replay. Hernandez takes the big tumble as he gets undercut, but he would be okay. The Dodgers add 3 more runs and then close it out with some more defense. Mark Sweeney with the bunt. Beltre charges, makes the great throw. A stellar night for the Dodgers defense. And L.A. with the 6-2 victory. And Jeff Shaw is perfect in the 9th inning in his Dodgers debut. Just the Padres' 2nd loss when leading after 7 innings.
And now he goes after him. This is going to get pretty ugly here, too.
He thought it would.
So with an 0-2 count, he gets tossed, and then he does some tossing of his own. The shin guard flies onto the field. He's done. Matt Luke came in, then grounded out. Tony Gwynn on the nose, but right at Caros. 0 for 15 for Mr. Gwynn.
And Tony Gwynn, this is the lowest he's been after the All-Star break since 1990, hitting .317.
Ashby after his 12th win of the season.
Hamilton leading off the inning. Top 3, 3-2 Dodgers. Joey Hamilton has just left the building. Tied at 3, 4th career dinger for Hamilton. Tony Gwynn came in 0 for his last 14. A slump for Tony is 0 for 2. 4-6-3 double play. Gwynn 0 for his last 15 for the first time in his career. Next batter, Ken Caminetti. Ken Caminetti sitting
There's a drive into right center field.
and poking. 4-3 Pod. Second homer of the game for Caminetti. Top of the 8th. 4-3, a man aboard, and Ken Caminetti, the other side of the plate, same result. 6-3 Pods. First 3-homer game for Caminetti. 7th time this season that a player has hit 3 home runs in a game. Mark McGwire's done it a couple of times. Final in this one, Padres 6, Dodgers 3. It's the first 3-homer game in Caminetti's career.
Danny Darwin and the Giants already down 2-zip. He's out. Eric Karros takes Darwin deep. 2-run shot. 4-zip. Karros' 10th jack and 48th and 49th RBI of the year. 4-zip Dodgers. Top 6. Jeff Kent rocking a fat bat and a fat game. Takes Dave Malicki out to left. Solo home run for Kent. His first homer since returning from the DL was 8th of the year. Giants down 6-4. Top 7, they're down 7-4. Barry Bonds, a potential tying run on deck. Bill Miller to second. Wilton Guerrero, nice play at the outfield grass. Throws Miller out. Dodgers still up 7-4. Bottom 8. Giants D's the truth. Roger Cedeno, Ray Sanchez making up for an 0-for-3 day at the plate. Sweet grab, but it wasn't enough. Dodgers win it 7-5. Dave Malicki now 4-0 since being obtained last month in the Hideo Nomo trade. Jeff Shaw pitched a perfect ninth for his 24th save and 29 chances. His first save in that new uniform. Stan Javier had his first homer in 2 hall of the team and front office. And after 92 games, LA's a 500 ball club. There's hope. I mean, sure, Charles Johnson, 7 errors after none all of last year are alarming, but LA pitchers ERA a half run better with CJ than with Piazza. And then there's Gary Sheffield. Kids just doing work. 25 straight games reaching base. And then there's the rivalry, facing a San Fran team winless since the break. Top 5 no-score Giants, runners in first and second, 1 out. Chan Ho Park schools Brian Johnson swinging. Charles Johnson schools JT Snow trying to steal third. Class is in session. Dodger D101. Park had 5 Ks. Bottom 5, Charles Johnson, just 3 for 20 since the break. Handling your business, kid. His 12th of the year. He came in hitting just 197, 1-zip Dodgers. Who that is? That's just my baby granddaddy. Top 9 tied at 1. Scott Radinsky tells Chris Jones, sit down. 5 Ks and 2 innings for Radinsky. Bottom 9, 1-1. John Johnston not happy about giving up a double to Raul Mondesi. Dodgers runners in first and second, 2 outs. Matt Luke, let the force be with you. One night after a great diving catch, Ray Sanchez makes his 8th error of the year that loads the bases. Next batter, Adrian Beltre at the plate facing Rob Nen. Nen uncorks his 2nd wild pitch of the year. Mondesi comes in, ball game. Dodgers win it 2-1. G-men go down for the 5th straight time. Scott Radinsky threw 2 scoreless innings of relief to even his record at 4-4. Both starters were fat. Chan Ho Park only gave up 4 hits before leaving in the 7th. Gardner had a 4-hitter in 6 innings. Wednesday, it's...
And Sheffield does a McGuire to center. Langford tried to catch up with him, but it's gone for his 16th home run of the year. Dodgers build a 3-0 lead, and they play some defense behind that. Ismael Valdez, whose letters for his name didn't show up tonight. Nice Juan Castro double play behind him. Harold, aggressive nature of the Dodgers help.
Well, watch Wilton Guerrero come in hard on Clayton. Clayton makes a nice turn here, but because of the Dodgers' speed and aggressiveness, just broke the inning open because it kept it alive by hustling down the line. And what happens with the next batter? Doesn't this always happen, Gary?
Bobby Witt came on to relieve Merker, who had nothing tonight, but certainly Witt didn't either. Raul Mondesi visits the Geraniums in center. His 21st home run. Tonight's up-close guest, Tony La Russa, not pleased. And McGuire facing Valdez. Never had a hit against him. He was 0 for 3 in his career coming into this game. It might have a chance. The fans are on their feet looking for 41, but instead, it's Mondesi with his back to the wall on the warning track. Valdez did the rest.
2 balls in,
giving up 8 walks and only striking out 3 in his last 2 starts. Check out the break on his breaking ball to get Brian Jordan, who went. Valdez then got Ronnie Gant with some cheese. And he goes back to the Yacker to get John Mabry. 8 strikeouts and didn't walk a batter in 7 innings of work. Dodgers go on to win it 8-2. Shaw comes on in relief to keep the victory. The Dodgers pound out 15 hits as they continue to move up in the wild card race, while the Cardinals continue to fall apart, and they're not far from last now. McGuire's afro growing, but the numbers of home runs have not grown for McGuire since Sunday when he hit 2 against Houston. Well, his first at bat against Brian Bohannon, he crushes one. 511 feet, it's headed towards the concession stand, his 41st of the year. And the fans, that's what they come there for. They're on their feet. The Cardinals have not had a lot to cheer about. They were in the throes of a 4-game losing streak, but McGuire, after going 1 for 11 since his 2 homers against Houston, hits 2 tonight. This one off Antonio Osuna. That's 42 home runs, and so he breaks the record set by Babe Ruth and Jimmy Fox. Most home runs through July.
3. Brian Bohannon's 7 strikeout matches a career high, which he set against the Dodgers when he played for the Mets last August. Dodgers win for the 10th time in the last 15 games as Tyler Green lost for the 4th straight start. The 2 homers allowed by Tyler Green, the 129th and 130th home runs allowed by Philly pitchers this year, 2nd most in the National League.
The Giants, and we did, and now we're going to catch the Cubs, he said. Well, actually, Tommy, the Giants are still 2 games ahead of you, and Philly and the Mets are also in the mix. And the Phils and Dodgers both trailing NL wildcard leader Chicago by 4.5 games. Game 2 of 3 with the Phils, and there's Tommy. No more guarantees tonight. Top 3, no score. Juan Castro, the batter, and Castro, the liner to left. Wilton Guerrero tries to score from second. Greg Jeffries with the throw, and for some reason, Guerrero doesn't slide. It's a mistake. He's out at the plate. Bottom 4, game tied at 1. Dave Malicki on the mound for L.A. And Bobby Abreu. First home run in 38 games. Number 7 on the year, 2-1 Phils. The solo variety. Still bottom 4. Second and third for Doug Glanville, and he rips it to left and down the line. Mark Lewis and Desi Relaford score. 1 of 3 hits for Glanville, and it's 4-1 Phils. Bottom 6, 6-1 Philly. Bases loaded for Abreu with 1 out. The double play ball to Juan Castro at short, but he can't handle it. Greg Jeffries scores, 7-1 Phils. They win 8-3, and Tommy's saying, I need something, and I need it quick. Dave Malicki gets his first loss since being traded to the Dodgers. He went to L.A. on June 4th, and the trade with New York for Hideo Nomo allowed 7 hits and 4 earned runs. The Phils lead the season series now 4-2.
6. Speech was real good in the jam early. Wilton Guerrero waves at it. The ball got by Parent. Johnson scores. The Dodgers are up 1-zip. 2 batters later, it's 2-zip. Raul Mondesi, thanks for playing. Mondesi would actually leave the game after the K. Stiffness in his back. Bottom 4, 2-1, Chad Ho Park. Kevin Jordan. Up the middle it goes. Castro Field stops, fires, DP. Bottom 7 now, 3-1. It's Bobby Abreu at the plate. And Park, nasty. Park's 5th straight win. He is scary good, and now he appears to be getting comfortable away from home. He has allowed only 4 hits in his last 16 innings. So dominant at home. Good to see Chad Ho pitching well for L.A. on the road. First time Mark Gardner at the deadline. Whether it's to give away big-name players or just small-name players, the Expos have been involved, and once again, Montreal sheds payroll and experience and helps out a team that believes they are contending. They send Carlos Perez and the shortstop Mark Grudzielanek to Los Angeles for Wilton Guerrero and 3 prospects. Now, Perez, of course, broke his nose in a car accident. He hasn't pitched. He was scheduled to go tomorrow night. Mark Grudzielanek, of course, hasn't been happy in Montreal for a couple of years now. Wanted to restructure his deal. Now, though, a new lease on life in L.A.
No question, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good situation, I think, there, and I'm definitely very nervous.
Wilton was a key to the deal. Lily was a key to the deal. You know, they're all part and parcel of looking at young players, and the Dodgers were one of the few organizations that had the players and that we fit together that well, and you know, we think it's going to work out great.
We watched Jim Beattie tonight. He made some moves, sat down, had a little dinner, and watched his ball team play. But as far as this deal goes, Grudzielanek was not really happy at all there. And some of the young guys, there's certainly tremendous upside when you look at what Ted Lely's been able to do. Peter Bergeron is a good hitter who steals bases.
Well, Guerrero is a talent at second base, but talking to some of the Dodger people, he may be the most adventurous, wild, undisciplined base runner around. Grudzielanek, you just wondered, they got Vizcaino at shortstop. They got a little bit of a logjam there. Vizcaino on the DL right now with a sprained ankle, but a lot of money going for one position.
So there is the deal again. The Dodgers pick up Grudzielanek and Carlos Perez, and as Dave pointed out, there could be a glut at shortstop. We'll see how that plays out. But certainly the Dodgers, since Fox has taken over, their face has changed more than any other in baseball. Well, with regards to the game, inning-ending double play in the first. Top 9, 3-1 Mets. Franco in to close it out with a man on first. Roger Cedeno goes to right center. Butch Husky goes back. Butch, get up, Butch. Yay. Matt Luke scores. Cedeno goes into third. L.A. down 1 at that point. Husky thought he had it. John Franco didn't think he had that. Into the dirt it goes. Cedeno scores from third. It's 3-3. 2 batters later. Prince is on first. Eric Young to left center. And it doesn't matter if you're Butch, if you're Husky, if you're a replacement. It's just not working out there. Prince scores from first. Dodgers are up 4-3. A double for Young. Franco. L.A. wins 4-3. His 5th blown save of the year. More people sitting and expressing other sentiments than those standing, clapping for him. Mike Piazza, 0 for 4. He grounded into 2 double plays in this game. Disappointing.
Our shortstop. The Mets traded for a 39-year-old leadoff hitter, a pitcher with 15 losses, and since they already have the Piazza Hundley controversy behind the plate, they picked up another catcher. Sometimes we don't see the wisdom of these deals until much later on. Mark Grudzielanek there, new Dodger shortstop, and here he is. Brian McCray bounces this with 2 on. Oh, Grudzielanek, beautifully done. Helps make it 7 scoreless innings for the newly acquired Carlos Perez. Other way, it's a duel. Rick Reed with a gem. Top of the 8th, no score, but with 2 outs, Luis Lopez, costly error at second. Be a runner at first. Next man up, Eric Young. More damage. Rips this one. That'll be extra bases. Tony Phillips, newest Met, running this down. Alex Cora running around third. We're going to have a play to the plate. Here's the play, and it's not close. He's in there. 1-0 Dodgers. Bottom of the ninth we go. 1-0 LA. Jeff Shaw on to close it out. Matt Franco pitch hitting. Oh, no doubt. Deep into the Queen's night. Solo home run, his first of the season. First blown save for Shaw in 10 chances as a Dodger. Tied at 1. Todd Hundley on first meantime, and there were 2 outs. Edgardo Alfonso doubles this one into the gap. Hundley running hard, coming around. Mets win, Mets win, Mets take a thriller. On Friday, the Dodgers were down 3-1 with 2 outs in the ninth. They came back to win. Here, the Mets down 1-0 with 1 down in the ninth. They come back to win. Rick Reed gets a reprieve, 6 Ks, no walks, allows just 1 run, gets a complete game win. He's now 12-7. Tony Phillips, the 39-year-old leadoff.
The former Met, Brian Bohannon against his old team.
Well, the Dodgers have not played very good defense recently. Reynoso swings, drives it down to Adrian Beltre, the 20-year-old youngster, and there he can't handle it. 2 batters later, Mondesi, who's been out with back spasms, can't hold this one, and that loads the bases.
John Olerud's sack made it 2-1. Then it's Brian McRae. Early in the season, the pitcher was grabbing that. Phillips and Alfonso scored 4-1. Next batter, Butch Husky. Bohannon, Rip City into the left field seats. 2-run shot. 5 unearned runs in the third. Husky would later leave the game with a strained hammy. Dodgers did nothing against Reynoso. Against Prince, nasty. Prince went 0 for 3, and the Mets win by a final of 9-3. 10th win in 14 for the Mets. Good job keeping the table setters off, too. The Dodgers' top 3 in the order go 0 for 11.
Tommy Lasorda is guaranteed a playoff berth. Tommy, I'll guarantee you something. If you don't have longer than a 3-game winning streak, which is your longest this year, you ain't going to the playoffs.
Soup making sounds like a great Seinfeld skit. Oh, he was there, too. So it was Seinfeld night. I mean, it seems like every night the Mets face somebody who shared a locker room with them earlier this season. It's always reunion night. Coming into today, I mean, they beat Brian Bohannon last night, so on Asian night, which it was tonight, Nomo faces his old teammate, Dave Malicki. Both pitchers have helped their new teams considerably. I shouldn't say his old teammate. I should say the former Met, Dave Malicki. Over his last 3, Nomo's been nothing shy of spectacular. Here we go. Top 1, Nomo against Raul Mondesi.
Well, Carl, one of the reasons he's been so spectacular, Mike Piazza knows the Dodger hitters, but also he's had the good fastball work, and it sets up this nasty split. That's a 3-2 split to Mondesi. Next time he faced him, look at that, 93 up high. He hadn't done that all year, and that's why he was tough early.
Nomo on first for Tony Phillips. Hit the ball hard tonight. Bloops went up the middle. Great play by Grzelcyk at short. And he had a good game. Bottom 5, 3-1 Mets Piazza. He knew it. Posing. He blasts a 2-run shot to left. He's been booed unmercifully. Mets go up 5-1. He never cracked a smile. Top 7. Dodgers down 5-2 to short. Ordonez. Got it?
That's such a tough play for the second baseman to see because you're going away from the throw and you throw it underneath your arms. It's hard to pick up the ball. That's why Baerga couldn't handle that one.
2 batters later, Mondesi against McMichael, who was a mess. Mondesi, it is gone. Second of the game, 25th of the year. We're tied at 5 as Charlie Williams says, come on home. Same inning, Valentine saves with McMichael. Karros with 1 on. A 5-run 7th, 7-5 Dodgers. And as it has been, Mike Piazza comes up in a big spot. He hit it hard with 2 on, a home run ties it. Sheffield goes back. Dodgers win at 8-5, and that's the way it has gone for Piazza since he has come over. 21 hits in the game. The Mets make 3 errors, so that does not help at all. But Piazza, to his credit, hit it hard. He was on it all night, but unfortunately for him and the Mets, get Cade looking and not happy with the home plate ump, Larry Vanover. Top 7, 2-zip. They're loaded for Karros, and he delivers. Grzelcyk does come around and score. Dodgers up 4-zip. Bottom 8, 4-1. Glenn Hoffman says, I need my pen. I need Rudinsky. The pinch hitter, Bob Henley. Rudinsky came in on, and Henley goes to left. 2-run score. Expos within 1. That made it 4-3. Same inning, Antonio Osuna to Vladimir Guerrero. To Grzelcyk, who flips to second for the out. A Young's throw, not in time. And not even close. We're tied at 4. Chan-Ho Park, are you serious? It's getting away. Bottom 9 are loaded with 2 down. Osuna to Guerrero to first, and Karros is there. Extras. That's not where Darren Hall wanted to put it. Widger to left, top the wall. FP Santangelo scores. Montreal the winner. Final score, 5-4. Dodgers bullpen comes apart. In 10, the final score, Guerrero 1 for 5 with a double. It was his 5th. 2 for 5, 2 RBIs, 294 batting average, and Vladimir goes 1 for 5 with an RBI. After the game, Mark Grudzielanek with the realization he is not held in the same regard in Montreal as Ken Dryden.
To see that really was kind of shocking and bothered me a little bit, but you know, that's all right. I mean, you know, that's how they feel. That's fine. Again, I didn't have any control over what happened, so I'm trying to make the best of it, and I'm going to go on and you know, look forward to playing with the Dodgers and try to win.
Here's your wild card race up to the second. The Giants 2.5 back. The Mets 3 back, despite the fact that John Franco blew his 6th straight. He does get the win, or he doesn't get the win, but Cook does, and the Mets somehow survive. Dodgers 5.5 back. Brewers and Phillies, like Greg Vaughn, maybe we should take them off the pitch.
Traded to L.A. Wilton Guerrero bunted down the first base line. Perez watching, hoping, praying, begging, pleading that it goes foul. Anything. Stayed fair. Bottom 4, 2-zip Expos. Booyah! Mike Mordecai, only his 2nd homer of the year, 2-run shot. He went 2 for 4 to raise his average to 200. Expos up 4-zip. Rookie Terry Jones, handle your business, kid. Bottom 5, still 4-zip, solo homer. His first Major League homer said, Terry, I was thinking triple all the way, and then I heard the fireworks go off. Perez got his props from the crowd, but he left the game after only 5 innings and giving up 7 runs. Expos hold on to just thrash the Dodgers, 9-zip. Powell gets his first Major League win and his 2nd Major League start. He has only allowed 1 earned run over 12 innings and 2 starts. And on the day his brother got his 15th win, Mike Maddox pitched 2 perfect innings as the Expos get their 3rd shutout of the season. Said a dejected Carlos Perez, when you face your ex-team so fast, they know what kind of pitch you throw, no matter what. Here is the National League wildcard situation. The Mets beat the Giants on Thursday. Dodgers thumped, you just saw by the Expos. Cubs are off Friday.
Sheffield and Jason Kendall on your TV together. Remember this? June 28th, the brawl. Sheffield got a little bloody, said it was not over. On Friday, Sheffield, fresh off his 3-game suspension for that fight. The fly ball to right. Jose Guillen, it's just fun watching this guy throw a baseball because he throws missiles. The perfect toss, but Kendall can't hold on. The Dodgers take the 3-1 lead. Bottom 7, Todd Van Poppel to Adrian Beltre. Manny Martinez going back. Can't hold on, but he does bring it back like a goalie, denying the home run and saving a run. Top 8 still 3-1. Brian Bohannon facing Tony Womack. Womack drops it down. Look at Beltre's arm. Charges and just sort of flips and gets some juice on it. The Dodgers go on to win this one, 3-1 the final. All quiet on the Western Front in this one. Peace reigned. Bohannon kept the Pirates' bats quiet, gave up just 2 hits over 7 1/3 to get the win. He's now gone 5 straight starts, allowing just 1 earned run per outing. The Dodgers having a rough season, still go over the 2 million mark. 5, Dave Malicki.
Lieber drives one to
John Lieber pops to center. Oh, Mondesi with the nice catch and the grass stain. Bottom 7, Pirates up 1-zip, 2 on, 2 out. Gary Sheffield down that line. This is a highlight, folks. Al Martin going into the stands, and he makes the catch. Oh, yeah. There's already scuttlebutt around the building about an ESPY nomination. Look at this. He kind of does the Fosbury flop and holds on, gets hot dog and beer all over him. Just fine, thank you. Bottom 9, 2 on for Charles Johnson. And Chuck bloops one into right. Juan Castro scores the tying run. Dodgers rallying, and then with the bases loaded, Eric Young. Another flare to right. Adrian Beltre scores. And the Dodgers come back to win this one 2-1 the final, so they close within 4 games of the Cubs for that wild card spot. Both starting pitchers solid in this one. Dave Malicki.
Pirates pitcher Chris Peters helping his own cause. Peters still second for his first career stolen base. Bottom 8, Trinidad Hubbard on first with 1 out. Dodgers down 2-1. Pirates pitcher Ricardo Rincon helping his own cause. Gets Eric Young to ground into the inning-ending double play. Pirates win 2-1. Pitchers helping their own cause. They teach us that in broadcast school. The Pirates snap a 4-game skid and have now won just 3 of their last 14 with Chris Peters a starter in all three. Channel Park pitching well, trying to tie the Dodger record.
Not too hard to figure out which team fired its manager and GM earlier this season. And, of course, you could forgive the Braves if they don't recognize the Dodgers this weekend at Chavez Ravine. After all, the last time these two teams met, L.A. still had Mike Piazza, Todd Zeile, and Hideo Nomo, and they did not have Charles Johnson, Bobby Bonilla, or Mark Grudzielanek. Dodgers started the night 5 games out of the NL wildcard, but before the game, the Dodgers retired Don Sutton's number 20, who, of course, now works for the enemy. Bottom 1, no score. Kevin Millwood pitching. Trinidad Hubbard lining one to right. Michael Tucker. Very nice with a diving catch. Bottom 2, 1 on. Millwood, Matt Luke. Swinging. Got him. Still bottom of the 2nd. Charles Johnson swinging. Next batter, Adrian Beltre. No way. Millwood 6 Ks through 3. Top 4, 2 on for Andres Galarraga. El Gato Grande. Dave Malicki's pitch deep to right, and that's not coming back down. 3-1 homer is 37th. Braves up 3-0 muy bueno. Still top of the 4th. Millwood running out a grounder, but he stops on first and turns his right ankle. He would get it taped up and still pitch 2 more innings, but he would leave after the 5th. However, the Braves go on to win 5-2. And despite leaving the game with that sprained right ankle, Millwood becomes the 3rd member of the Braves staff to have at least 14 wins, the others, of course, being Glavine and Maddox. He allowed 1 run, struck out 8. Atlanta has won its last 7 meetings with the Dodgers, including all 4 this season. Chipper Jones scored another run to raise his major league leading total to...
Getting the arm limber. Top of the 1st, no score, 2 men on Andres Galarraga. Andres Galarraga has no boundaries. His 38th homer, 100th RBI. 2nd straight game in which he's hit a 3-run shot. It's 3-0 Braves. Bottom of the 4th, 4-2 Braves, 2 outs. John Smoltz gets Tom Prince, and look out. He eludes the bat. Smoltz had 8 strikeouts on the game. Top of the 5th, Braves up 4-2, bases loaded, 2 outs, and there, your visual proof. Park gets Tony Graffinino looking and gets out of the jam. He struck out 9 in 6 innings of work. Did Park? Dodgers half of the 5th now. Eric Young drive to left, and that is out of here. Solo shot, his 3rd. Smoltz and Sutts. Dodgers trail at 4-3. Bottom 9 now. Dodgers down 5-3. Runner at 2nd, 2 outs. Kerry Lightenberg. He is really coming around. Gets Roger Cedeno to ground to 1st. Galarraga flips it to Lightenberg for the final out. 14th straight save opportunity he's converted, and 20th in 22 chances overall. As the Braves win at 5-3, Smoltz takes his 6th straight decision and 7th out of 8 since coming off the DL. Park loses his 2nd straight at Dodger Stadium.
Roger Cedeno against Denny Nagel, 5, 4, and 3, and the Powerball is 29. Scoreless through 7. 8th inning, Nagel against Eric Young.
Nagel's ready. The next one.
He's going to get his name in the paper. 4th of the year, Dodgers up 1-0. Show them what they've won. A Major League Baseball game. Dryford held Atlanta to just 1 hit in 7 innings before coming out for a pinch hitter. Struck out 9, walked 6, and the no decision. It's the Dodgers' first win in 6 tries against the Braves this season. And
United Pro player. But no team has more former World Series champion Marlins than the Dodgers, and they visited Miami Thursday night for the first time since acquiring Gary Sheffield, Bobby Bonilla, Jim Eisenreich, and Charles Johnson on May the 15th. It always feels good to come home, Sheffield said. As for the Dodgers, they hit Miami Thursday night, 2 games under 500, exactly where they were on May the 15th. To pro player we go. Bobby Bo did not play. More on that in a moment. Gary Sheffield's first at-bat, and he makes the most of it.
Fastball.
20th of the season. And there's a scurry for the ball. Tied at 1 in the 2nd. Tied at 1 in the top of the 6th. Former Marlin Charles Johnson, 2 on 2 out. Flares it to shallow right center Luis Castillo. Nice catch. Still tied at 1, top of the 10th. Sheffield up runners on 1st and 3rd with 1 out. Jim Leyland wants no part of him. Intentionally walks him to load the bases, so Justin Spire now must face Eric Karros. The 1-2 pitch. Looking. Karros disbelieving. 2 outs, but Spire would lose control with another former Marlin at the plate. Jim Eisenreich busts out the walking stick. Eric Young with the go-ahead run. Eisenreich was only batting $128 as a pinch hitter this season. Dodgers win 2-1, so Eisenreich drives in the winning run. Sheffield and Johnson went 1 for 4, and Bobby Bo didn't play. He had a sore wrist. The loss dropped Florida to 45-82 on the season and ensured the fact that the defending world champion Marlins will finish.
Up 2-on for Raul Mondesi. And Mondesi, the Rocket, gets out of town. His 28th. And the Dodgers go on to win this one 5-1 over the Marlins. Chan Ho Park picks up the victory to go to 11-7. Livan Hernandez, as you saw earlier, was hit by a pitch.
Next season, this is certain of Andres Galarraga. He will hit at least 40 homers. This year, he has 39. He will drive in well over 100 runs. He will hit 300, and he will get hit by a lot of pitches. In the past 2.5 years plus, the cat has been the poster child of the Humane Society, getting plunked by 65 pitches, an incredible 21 times this season. Braves home to the Dodgers, and look, it's the cat. His first at bat. We go back to last Sunday in L.A., and Galarraga, the ball wedges near his armpit against Darren Dreifort. Back to the game on Saturday, and Dreifort goes to the cat, and that's enough. 22 times in 1 year is enough. The left hook, Dreifort just ducks out of the way. Bench is clear. I went to a baseball game when the Jerry Springer show broke out. Losing their religion in Hotlanta. Galarraga ejected. Dreifort left the game because of those abrasions. He's okay, and Dodger GM Tommy Lasorda wondering what's going on. Back to the action, bottom three. 4-0 Braves, and Trinidad Hubbard got a groovy kind of glove. He robs Greg Colburn, who was in for the ejected Galarraga. Now, top of 7, 7-5 Braves. Eric Karras the other way. Michael Tucker. Oh, he's made some great catches this year, and the Braves are winners. 16 straight saves for Kerry Lightenberg in the Atlanta win. He hasn't allowed an earned run in 20 appearances. Chipper's next homer will be 31, and that will be a career high. These same two teams play Sunday night at 8 o'clock on ESPN. They might be
6, just off his 200th career win, and the Major League ERA leader. And yet, having gone 4-4 in his last 8, he was in a relative slump. The Dodgers, no doubt, were full of confidence. Or not. As seen on ESPN, the genius of Greg Maddux. That'll be tested here. Maddux got some help early, though. Andres Galarraga. Home run. Number 40 is the first to hit 40 homers in consecutive seasons with different teams. Braves are up 2-0. Dodgers staying close. 4-0. Maddux against Gary Sheffield. Everyone throw your hands in the air and wave them around as though there are no repercussions. 21st of the year. Braves are up 4-1. Next batter, Eric Karros. 2 for 27 lifetime against Maddux. 3 for 28, and big is 16th of the year. First time ever that Maddux has given up back-to-back home runs in a game. Third inning, 5-3 Atlanta. Maddux against Karros again. 2 on. And even with derogatory credit, you can own a brand new car. 17th homer, second of the night. First time Maddux has ever given up 3 homers in one game. LA's up 6-5. Fourth inning, tied at 6. Chipper Jones to third. Bonilla can't come up with it. Maddux will score. Should have been a double play ball. Braves up 1. Now it's 9-7. Karros at third. Mark Grudzielanek, he goes to second. Tony Graffanino coming home. Karros, he's meat. A good block by Eddie Perez. So that genius stuff doesn't work out quite as well. But Maddux, he's still sound. It's just one game. The Braves win it 12-7. In fact, Maddux gets the win, even though he got shelled a bit here. Allowed 10 hits, 7 runs, raises the ERA, but it's still at 1.91. Karros goes 3 for 5, 2 dongs.
He had between the ages of 4 and 10. Scars he wears proudly now, but scars symbolic of the pain and ridicule he's experienced since he was a child.
People would just point their fingers, and kids would, you know, a lot of kids called me Scarface or Charcoal Face, or things that when you're young that can be really hurtful.
I mean, he couldn't go anywhere. The grocery store, Sunday school, anywhere you went, okay? I mean, people would say, why don't you wash your kid's face, you know? And you look at them and say, you know, what an ignorant person you are, you know?
I used to position myself in a room to where people would see what I thought was the clean side of my face, the non-scarred side of my face, because I didn't want to get the reactions out of people that, you know, that I had been receiving.
Luke's parents say they first realized how much the birthmark would affect the rest of his life when he was just a few months old. They hired a photographer to come over to the house to take pictures of him. But when the photographer arrived and saw Matt, he said, I won't do it. I don't take pictures of children with deformities or handicaps because the parents never buy them.
This is my own home, and this man comes into my home and doesn't want to take pictures of my child.
The man did take the pictures, and I did buy them, and they are adorable. But that was my realization that, you know, I'd better be ready to deal with this.
One of the ways they dealt with it was plastic surgery. But after seeing 4-year-old Matt after the first operation, the Lukes realized the situation would get far worse before it got better.
He's in shock, and he looks up at me and he says, "Dad, they did something to me."
He says, "Why did you let them do this to me?" That was the hardest day to get through.
After 4 more operations, 10-year-old Matt Luke decided he had had enough. Doctors told him he couldn't play baseball for at least 3 months after surgery, and baseball meant everything to him.
Baseball was my ticket to social acceptance. It gave me an identity. It was the one thing that I kind of reached out to and said, this is making me happy.
When I first met Matt Luke, we were here in January, winter workouts. And he says, "I'll be here every day." And I said, "Well, we're only here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday." And he goes, "Well, I'll be here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday."
That's why I think the fans love him. He's had some setbacks in life, and the fans know that. And the fans know that this guy's given him everything that he has.
Had he not had a sport or some type of an activity that he would engage with others, I still think it would be very difficult for him.
Luke says doctors approach him all the time, in the supermarket and other places, to tell him that laser surgery could clean up his scars. But he's not interested. And it's no longer because of time he'd missed from baseball. It's because he's grown tired of being ashamed when he looks in the mirror.
I see someone that has endured a lot of different emotions in my childhood, and I'm very proud of who I am, and think I'm somewhat of a handsome man.
I remember one time I said to him, this was when we were dating, I said, "Well, I don't even see them anymore." But I offended him, and I started to cry because I offended him and I didn't mean to. He said, "When you say that, that means that it's something that you don't want to see."
I am who I am today because of my scars. And my scars and the treatment that I endured have helped me, have molded me into the man I am right now. And I don't want to change it. I don't want to position myself on the right side of the room anymore.
What we're proudest of is the person he is, okay? And that he found happiness, that he did accept himself.
Luke says he receives 40 to 50 letters a week from people of all ages with similar stories of feeling ashamed. They tell Luke that his story has inspired them, given them a newfound confidence. Luke says that though he's already living out a dream, playing for the Dodgers in his hometown, true happiness comes from the help that he can now give to others. In Los Angeles, I'm Melissa Stark, ESPN.
A footnote: at a recent road game in Philadelphia, Luke noticed a young boy who bore the same type of birthmark, only his was on his forehead, and he had grown his hair down over his eyes to cover it up. Luke told the boy he had 2 choices. He could go on hiding it for the next 10 or 20 years, or he could say, "This is who I am. I'm proud of it, and it's actually kind of cool."